think I just learned how to invite
Live
friends.
just now. I will just share it.
Share it and invite friends. So you can share it and invite your friends.
Hello, Facebook. We are live again, and this is the Gray Area. This is your boy Ray E,
Your boy P. Wills, what's happening?
and we are here live with some of our favorite people. What's going on?
Hey.
Today we're here with the Merit Group and Susu Global.
Yes.
Yes.
Did I say that right?
Yes. Susu.
There it is. There it is. All right. We got Terry Dub.
Hey. How's
We got Shamira Cox
Mm-hmm.
and Devisha Frederick.
Yes. Thank
How
you.
y'all doing?
Great, and you?
Fantastic.
Doing good. Today we want to talk more about business strategies, and what a
Okay.
perfect group to talk to. You guys do this like when you're asleep,
Yes. Literally. Yes,
and
literally.
and when you're woke.
Yes.
And
Yes.
this is very important. So if you're tuning in and you're wanting to learn business, and you know, one important thing, that the reason why we have Devisha here is because she's a prime example of, you know, recovering from life's adversity and building something that's going to create change for other people.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
you know, Susu Global does that, so we're going to talk about that today. So I would say please take notes, share this feed, let everybody know, because we're gonna dig in. So let's start at building a business. A lot of people think that it's very hard. They have difficulties understanding how to get started. Naturally, anybody who wants to do business didn't just wake up and go to school for it. You know, some people don't go to school for this, but they have an idea, they have something great that they want to do, and they want to know how to start. So, you know, any one of you guys, you know, where do they start? I wake up in the morning and I say, you know what? I'm tired of my job. I've been thinking about making these hot dogs, and I want to sell hot dogs. You know,
Hot dogs and chitlins.
I want to buy
I know that's good.
I want to buy 4 carts. I want to get out in these corners and start pushing my hot dogs.
All day.
You know, what do they have to do? What do they start first?
Well,
All right.
Okay.
Go ahead, Tita.
I think the first place people need to start with is a plan. One thing that we always see is people say, okay, I got a great idea. Let me get some business cards. Let me get a website. I'm out here.
Okay.
The first place is to start with a roadmap of why I want to do this, the purpose of it, the competitiveness,
Right.
my analysis. You have to lay out a plan. It's like building a house.
Right.
You know, you just don't say, hey, I got a plot of land
Absolutely.
and let me
It's a
just
process.
go put some chairs on this land.
Right.
You know, you say, hey, I need to put the foundation, I need to build the walls,
Right.
I need to make sure it's in the correct neighborhood for my kids. You know,
Okay.
you have to look at all the schematics of a business. So
Okay.
the first part is to say, okay, I think I have a great purpose.
Mhm.
Because that's the thing about business is if it's not fixing a problem
Mhm.
that is overwhelming for people,
Right.
you might want to think about it.
Right.
So you need to say, hey, I see a problem, I know how to fix it, I can provide a solution, now I need a plan.
Right.
So
right.
that's the first place to start.
Right. So that's more of a mental get ready.
Yes.
Right. So
Right.
that's like get yourself in the mode. Be passionate. Don't just wake up because you hate your job. You know, I
Right.
said that, but you know, a lot of people generally it's a knee-jerk reaction for them, and they want to get away from their job. And then, while that's good motivation, you got to be mentally and financially ready. You know what I'm saying? You just can't jump out there. So hold on to the job and start building a plan.
That's
Right.
it.
Get mentally ready.
Okay.
And okay, so what's the next stage after that? You know, what do they do? Got to go downtown or what? What do they do?
I mean, you can definitely, you know, start the process, get your EIN, which is your social security number for your business, get your LLC, you know, go online and file that. That takes 5.5 minutes if you want to get that done.
Right.
But I'm with Terry. because there's so many people, there's hundreds of people that start businesses a month. And you look at them from a year to 3 years down the road, half of them are non-existent.
Right.
So we have to look at the root of that problem,
Okay.
right? You know, so one of the roots of that problem is, like what Terry was saying, is the mental understanding that it's not just about your hot dogs.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's
Right.
like, what about your hot dogs
Right. Right.
is solving your problem?
What makes your hot dogs different from everybody else's hot
Right.
dogs?
Are they Sonoran hot dogs? Are they Chicago hot dogs? You know,
Right.
what's the niche that you have around it? You know, so as consultants, our purpose in helping our clients execute and walk out on their purpose is to ensure that they understand why they're doing what they're doing. You know, because number one, understanding that business is not easy. And I mean, I'm 18 years in this thing, about to be 19 years. It's been up and down, roller coaster, good highs, lows, wins, non-wins, you know.
Right.
And if you're in it just to make money, this is probably not going to be the best place for you. You know, entrepreneurialism is probably not going to be the world you want to engulf yourself in. You might as well work for somebody, you know.
Absolutely.
You know, so it's really understanding that, it's understanding that business is not something you just, I think one day I'm going to start a company.
Right.
Because of the financial and the mental and the resources that are pulling you. Because Ray, you said something, it's like, don't quit your job.
Right.
And we have entrepreneurs that come in there and they're like, I'm going to quit my job on Tuesday. I'm going to quit my job next week. Me and Terry are like, no, you're not.
Okay.
You know, no, sir, no, ma'am. You're not going to come blame
That
us
makes your
when you're
job a
not
little
making.
bit harder.
Yeah.
Because now they're looking like, I want to make money tomorrow.
No.
And it's really a process.
Oh, man, it's a process.
Or they look at y'all and they want y'all to get everything going right then and there.
And to be where we
Yeah.
are
Right.
when they were not there.
Uh-huh.
When Terry and I were spending 14, 15, 16 hours,
Right.
you know what I mean? Literally leaving the office at 11 o'clock, coming in at 6 o'clock next morning.
Lot
You know,
of work.
making the connections, working, not paying ourselves so we can create a staff so we can pay
Right.
them. You know, so they didn't see that part. They see it now. We're taking
Right.
Thursdays off, 3 weeks vacations and chilling. But that's because we worked hard to get that space.
Right.
You know, so really it's, I want to lean it to Davisha because Davisha actually just went through this. It's been a long time since I've started from scratch.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 18 years in this thing, so I want Davisha to talk about, like, what was it from your perspective? I think it'd be better answered.
For me, I think it was planning, but you also have to be ready to take that risk and be ready to work. Because it's a lot of work when you go out and do your own business, you're an entrepreneur and you're new, especially in Indianapolis. I mean, I think in any city, but when you're new, you have to make yourself known. You got to get exposure to yourself.
Yes.
There's a lot of things you have to do and constantly
Right.
keep doing. You got to keep busy and going all the time. You're going to fail. Be
Right.
ready for that.
You gotta fail first.
Right. And if you're going to be successful, you got to fail.
What is
Right.
failure though?
Failure is like knowing that you wanted to, like, for me, I failed at a workshop one time.
Okay.
But how I felt was I didn't market for it right. I didn't
Right.
plan for it right. I didn't do a lot of strategies for it. I just went into it 2 weeks before and put it out there, and then
Right. You knew
it
you
didn't
wanted
come
to
back.
do it, but you didn't have the
Yeah.
game plan.
Yeah.
So you
So-
found that out when you went there because now not only are you there without your, equipped, to come,
Right.
but you got people that are competitors that know about this
Yeah.
and they are ready. They
Yeah.
got business cards,
Yeah.
they got flyers,
Right.
brochures,
Right.
folders, postcards,
If
all
you're
kinds
not
of
ready for as marketing when you want to do something as far as an event,
Yeah.
you can fail at that. And I learned that real quick. So I got my game up and was like, I can't do this no more. I have to
Right.
plan 30 to 45 days. The ladies had already told me that,
Right.
but I didn't listen.
Right.
So I
Right.
failed.
Say that, Davisha.
So
Say
when
that.
I failed, I was like, but when I failed at that, I knew the next day I had to get back up. I couldn't sit on that for
Yeah,
6 months
right,
because this was my business. This was my baby. I had to get ready and do it again. And that's what I think a lot of people lack of.
Right.
If you don't get back up and do it again,
And when you say get back up, how was that transitioning from where you feel like you're at the low and now you're trying to climb out of this? How does that translate financially into starting a business? Like, what do you got to put aside an investment? You got to go get a credit line. I mean, what happens in the midst of trying to get that going while you're at your bottom?
right? Because I didn't know how I was going to pay for it.
Right.
But I started chopping out a lot of my things that I didn't need.
Wow.
And
yeah.
that meant
Okay.
not getting my hair done. That meant not getting my nails done.
All
That meant
right
not
now.
going out to eat. That meant
Sacrifice.
not shopping. That meant
Absolutely.
all these things that I was doing that was unnecessary. I needed to learn that it wasn't necessary anymore. So I stopped that. And guess what? I came up with the money.
There you go.
So that transition
Right.
taught me more and more over the times. Like, yeah, I can get my hair done, but I don't go every week anymore. I may go once a month.
Right.
So
Right.
it's just something that you learn over time.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, it's a process.
People don't know that, like, if you sit down and look at your budget and how much you spending per month, you could probably carve out about $300 to $400
Oh yeah, definitely.
sir.
Like easily, every
Yes,
2
sir.
weeks.
Easily, yeah.
Yes,
You know what I'm
sir.
saying? You look at your cable, your phone, your
Yep.
car washes, your hair, your
Yep.
nails. And
That's
you,
it.
y'all-
Starbucks.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Y'all women pay a lot of money to look good.
Yeah,
Amen.
we do.
Yes.
We
No, I'm
do.
serious. Like
You're right.
I mean, I did a couple of
Amen.
websites and I started looking at the prices of what these women were, getting charged.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everything from the nails to the lashes to the
Come
hair.
on.
I don't know how y'all come up with this money.
Right. it comes from
It's
somewhere.
crazy.
Just like I just said, you break down some things, you break down some other things. Because
Yeah.
women, we know how to break down the money.
Right.
So,
Y'all find it. Y'all
yeah, we
find
find
a
a
way to
way.
do it.
We find
you know
a
what I'm
way.
saying? But then
It's a way.
that's some overtime somewhere.
Absolutely.
Right.
Somewhere.
I know how it works.
It's
I see it.
overtime
I know
somewhere. You
how it
gotta
works.
do, yeah.
It's an
yeah.
overtime somewhere.
Yeah.
You're gonna make up for it some kind of way.
Right, right.
But
I mean, y'all spend $1,000 on weave and oh my
I ain't gonna
God.
spend $1,000 on no weed now.
Hey,
I mean,
some
it
of y'all
doesn't cost
do.
that much. Some
Yeah.
people do.
Some women
still.
do.
Mhm.
on the West Coast, I know it costs that much.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I
I got some
know.
cousins
Oh,
and
yeah.
they paid
Yeah.
no
Six,
more
seven
than
hundred?
yeah.
Easily.
Mhm.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. From
On the West Coast.
Arizona,
for
California.
hair.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
it lasts like a month or something.
No,
Yeah.
if you don't take
We've-
care of it,
It
it's
won't
supposed to
last.
last 12 months to 24 months.
Oh
Weave
Jesus.
just be shining like it was dipped in creek oil.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but
My
the
chick is a mess.
but it costs a lot of money. So you have to figure out where and fellas too.
Yeah.
There's fellas that's popping bottles in the club.
Yeah.
All right now.
Doing all the things that in the
Right.
strip club and drop these ones,
Right.
but can't take care of kids. They're trying to find out how to start a business. And I'll tell you what, you have to definitely get yourself in a behavior of to stop spending.
That's good.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
good.
That is absolutely
consumer.
right.
Having your credit together is a huge part of it. You know what I'm saying? While that is not the main reason you should, to start, it does help. I can't say that.
Right.
Because
Absolutely.
you're spending other people's money and not necessarily yours, and you can pay it back on terms that wouldn't kill you.
Yeah,
That's right.
absolutely.
So definitely look at that too as well.
Right. So that's why I
Absolutely.
tell people, be ready for that.
Right.
Because that is something that a lot of people don't want to give up what they're doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that bulk of stuff that you're doing, like you said, it's just not necessary. If you want to really build a business, you will give it up.
Absolutely.
So
How passionate are you to want
Right.
to start a business?
Exactly.
Right.
If you
Absolutely.
can't stop spending.
That's
yeah,
right.
You
Exactly.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
You
My
have to have
grandmother.
capital.
Absolutely. I love what Davisha said too. She's like, basically what Davisha's saying is I prioritized.
Yeah.
I was willing to be where I have to be right now to get where I'm trying to go.
Okay.
And I think sometimes when people look at business, they think that it's glamorous. And again, it's getting into it for the wrong
Let's see the finished product.
reasons.
Yeah.
And it takes time to get there.
Right.
So it's like, it just takes time to build. And it takes discipline, and it takes a fortitude that's usually beyond your capacity because there's a learning curve that comes in business. Like you might start that hot dog shop and you might have thought only 15 clients were going to come a day in your cart outside and selling Sonoran hot dogs over here off, on 16th Street.
Right.
But you find out that there's 45 people a day that come.
Okay.
So it's like, that's a good, right.
Absolutely.
So did we forecast that? And Terry and I always build businesses to forecast not failure, but success. Shelby says wildly successful. When you create a company that you think, I was dealing with a client today earlier, and he was saying, I said, how much did you want to make for 2018? He was saying $1 million. And I'm like, $1 million is a good goal.
Right.
But let's bring it down. Let's be realistic. Everybody want to make $1 million their first
Right.
year. You know what I mean? But what realistically do your solutions and your bandwidth and your capacity enable you to make?
Right.
And it was actually 120,000.
Okay. I was gonna say, what does that look like?
Right.
When you want
Yeah.
to scale back, because
Yes.
ideally you want to have big dreams, but you want to have realistic dreams.
That's it. It needs to be balanced. Everything's in moderation. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's like, yes, you want him to make $1 million. Of course, who doesn't want to make $1 million?
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, unless you have products that will produce $1 million, we have to look at it that way. Because if you're selling these cups and you've got a market of 15 million or these bottles, then you probably could make $1 million your first year with the right marketing campaign.
Right.
But if you're selling your service and nobody knows you,
Right.
come on, it might be a
hard to
little
do.
harder,
Right,
to make
right.
$1 million your first year. So what we'll do is we'll take a look at all your solutions, 1 through 10. Let's say you got 10 solutions. You want to make $100,000 your first year? Okay, all 10 solutions need to make what amount of money?
Right.
And then divide that by price or divide that by people. Now I'll tell you what your goal is. You hit that goal, you make that money. If
Right.
you want to make more, then you increase your dollar amount
Right.
either by
Makes sense,
price
yeah.
or by market share.
Right.
So either or. But it's just not being cavalier in our goal setting.
Right,
You know, it's
right.
making sure that our goal setting are strategic, and they're we always Marriott Group, we always bat real low. So if you get high, you love us.
Right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean,
You know?
Absolutely. Shoot for
You know?
$50. If you
Come
make
on.
100, hey.
Hey,
Let's
we
go.
happy, you know. So yeah.
I just want to say for the record, I am not a hot dog fan for some reason. Hot dogs is the easiest example to use. I don't want people inboxing me talking about what kind of hot dogs you got.
Hot dogs.
Where you gonna be selling them? I'm not selling hot dogs.
Right.
Okay.
When you
It's
gonna
all-
be selling them? What
Talking
corner?
about what kind of hot dogs you
What
got.
kind of hot dogs?
I ain't got no hot dogs. Go to Marsh, go to Kroger's.
I know that's it.
Rayford's hot dogs.
See,
Yeah.
Got him. Got him. Got
did
him.
you just say Rayford?
Got him.
Okay.
Where's my homie the clown? Sorry. I'm about to get it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
But business is not business is it can be difficult.
Yes, it can.
You
Very
know,
hard.
y'all have the keys. The Marriott Group, y'all have the keys to make it, to get it where you need to get it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all make it look so good. You know what I'm saying? And that's and y'all make people. Y'all let people. Well, let me rephrase this. Y'all get people to where it's believable and
Yes.
attainable.
Yes. Yes.
And you can grow, because when we walked in the gray area is an example of we walked in and we listened to what y'all had to say and watched it, and y'all created like 6 to 7 revenue streams that we didn't even know existed.
Eight.
Yeah.
Eight.
Oh,
Do not short term. Look, do not short term. It was 8. and I looked at that board. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
potential.
You know,
right
so
there.
so
Yeah.
of course, I just want the viewers to go to the Marriott Group's page, and like their page and do more research on the Marriott Group themselves, because they can help you get where you need to get to, as far as business strategies.
Awesome.
There's a lot of things that I'm a business person,
Yeah.
and there's so many different things that I learned.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
going in there,
Same here.
Yeah.
talking to a person
Yeah.
that does web development and see paperwork all day.
Right.
I was able to see streams of income that I didn't even know existed. So
Right.
Yes.
that's important.
Yeah.
Can you tell the viewers what the Marriott Group did for you? Because I know they played an intricate part in helping you get to where you were getting to.
Absolutely.
well.
Yes, of course. I mean, it's the same thing. I had that same experience. They bring something out of you you don't know you have.
Oh, so
And
Wow.
that right there is
That's
what I love
powerful,
about
man.
it. Yeah.
I had the vision.
Yeah.
I didn't know I had that. I didn't know I could be a speaker. I didn't know that. I knew that people always gave me compliments, that I was a
Right.
great friend. I was a great encourager.
Right.
I didn't know that I could be an author. I didn't know I could create workshops. I didn't know that I can partner with other people.
Right.
They gave me that, and after I left there, I believed it.
Right.
And when you believe in something that you can do, you go out and do
You
it.
started
Yes.
implementing the tools that they gave you
Yeah.
to get your
Yeah.
business started.
And once I seen that, oh my God! When I first had my first workshop, it was my vision board, and I was like, oh
Yes.
my God!
Wow.
Yes.
And my husband was like, this is crazy.
he got to jump on board.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's jump on board. This is working.
Right.
So,
Ain't that the
I mean,
hard
it's
part?
good.
Your partner, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you go have this meeting
Yep.
and you find out the cost and all that,
Yeah.
then you go home and tell them, they're like, well, what you getting for that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What you getting
Right.
for that? Because I know I'm going to have to pay for this. What you getting for that?
Right.
Especially the men. I know the men
Yeah.
be knocking themselves upside the head.
Yeah.
Who you talk to?
Right.
How many men told you
Yeah.
this? You know what I'm saying?
Right,
We get
right.
a little deeper. But that's amazing, though.
Yeah,
You
it
know what I'm
is.
saying? It's
Absolutely.
incredible.
But they also give you a when you see that other people believe in you, because I have been to other consulting companies before them, and it was not. I was like, okay, I'm probably not gonna go back. I don't feel it. There's a spirit and an energy and synergy you feel when you go in there,
Right.
and you are like, okay, let's get it done. When I'm coming
Right,
back,
right.
and that's what it was.
Absolutely.
And I was like, sign all my appointments up now.
I know that's
All
right.
of them, and I did.
Absolutely.
And so,
The
like,
motivation.
yeah, and
Mhm.
they
Yeah.
have this. I mean, when Shamar and them go up to that board and start just chunking it down and how much you can make and what you can do,
Yeah.
like you said, they gave y'all 8, they gave me 6, and I was
Mhm.
like, I'm gonna do all this.
Yeah.
How are we gonna get this done?
Absolutely.
But once I started doing the homework and
Right.
started doing it and seeing everything that I was creating, these workshops and these speaking engagements, things that I was gonna do,
Right.
it was like it just became real to me, and I was like, let's get it done. Let's get it done. I need to go.
How long
I'm
did it
ready to
take
go.
you to get going? Because there's people that are saying, "Well, yeah, you got going, but it's still a process out there.
Yeah.
It's still
Oh,
a
gosh,
process
yes.
to get going."
Every day
Yeah.
is a
You
process.
know what I'm saying? And you start seeing that by your actions and
Yeah.
you implementing the tools that she gave you.
Yeah. So my whole process was about 4 months. I launched in 6 months.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I think it was, for me, I was just on it. I stayed on it, and I made sure I do my homework. And I always tell everyone else that I know to go there, I just say, this is what you have to do. You have to do that homework. Because if you don't get it done, guess what? It sets you back another 2 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever the appointment is. So, yeah, getting that homework done and coming to all your appointments.
Right.
If you got all your appointments, you see when that last appointment is, that's when you're done.
Right.
You're like, I'm done.
Right.
So I knew that what my last appointment was, and I was like, I have to be done by this because then I'm going to production, get my website, and then guess what? I'm launching. And that was it.
Wow.
How big is presentation when it comes to your business? Because there's a lot of people, especially in our community, you know, they get a brand, and you know they put a label on it and they write on it. You know, you got to realize, like, and we've talked about this before, that you're competing with name brands.
Yeah.
So the look is everything. Can you guys break down and explain to people who are starting businesses how important the face of your company is?
So branding is my favorite because I love it.
Yes.
So I think sometimes people get confused with branding and marketing. So your brand is more than just your website and your business cards and your logo. Your brand is really your emotional connection with your clientele and with your market.
Okay.
So when you're building, you have to build an emotional buy-in from your client. So if you look at Gain and you look at Tide, they do the same exact thing. They wash clothes.
Right.
But people love Gain because of the way it smells. They love the commercials. It's a feeling that is emoted from their brand. And so when you're building a brand, you have to say, how do I connect with somebody emotionally in my business? And that is how people loyalty. You look at Oprah. People love Oprah. If Oprah sold goats tomorrow, people would be buying goats because they love. I want Oprah goat right now.
I want Oprah goat, baby. I want Oprah goat.
Oprah goat right now. But it's because
What's up with him and these names?
Right.
We got to come up with a name.
But it's because Oprah connected with people, specifically women, in the daytime or what they were going through. So now whatever you're doing, I know it represents me. I know that I can connect with you. And so whatever you do, I know it represents me because you're thinking of me and mine. That might not be totally true, but her brand said that. So if you're just out there and you say, bam, I'm a speaker, people love what I have to say, maybe they don't. Maybe they really love
Maybe they just like the colors.
You know, they might like what you're writing.
Right.
And you might be pushing, I want to speak, when they might say, why don't you write a book where I can buy every day and have you with me instead of you having to force yourself to be in front of somebody every day.
Right.
So you have to think about, how does your brand connect emotionally? How do you look at making your clientele loyal to not just for this product? I think, like, let's take the hot dog example. People just, hey, buy my hot dog today, and you made $7.50. But if they love the brand, you look at Nathan's, people love the story and the backstory. I want to be with Nathan. Now they can be in stores, and I'll still buy it. So it's looking at your brand from, how am I, the person of my business, making a connection with my consumer? And this can be forever, not just I made $100 and
Constantly learning how to develop and build with people. Because you guys, as the Barrett Group, you're still having to find different ways to connect with people. You know, and if you look at like name brands like McDonald's and Subway, they're constantly rebranding themselves, selling the same stuff.
Absolutely.
But, you know, like look at Arby's. They branded, we have the meat. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, every time I turn on TV, we have the meat. You know what I'm saying? I remember that, and I know that that's Arby's. So, you know, it's finding something that is going to be the brand for you, and sticking with that, but changing it subtly.
Change it with your market, their market change. You know, back when your market grows and they go to a different level, if your market, they loved Arby's when it was a bunch of beef and cheese, but their market changed that I want to eat healthier. So if you stay just serving beef and cheese, you would lose who you were core to. So now you say, hey, I want to offer whole grain bread, I want to offer salads, I want to offer a plethora of meat from different places, because your market grew. So you also have to research and say, where is my market going to? Because sometimes you say, my market was this in 1995. Let's just take Blockbuster. Blockbuster was, hey, we go get a video. But your market changed, and we want to be more digital, and they didn't research that. Absolutely. People wanted more convenience. So if you say, I just got the market pouring it up, this is my corner, and nobody gonna take my corner, you're missing out on, I need to research on where my market is going in their life. How is their life
changing? You're not changing what you do, you're changing how you reach people.
Absolutely.
Your
marketing. That's how marketing.
Created.
Absolutely. That's what we did with the gray area. We did a lot of research on what people were tuning into, you know, what people were looking at, you know, and we found that there's not very many people that's watching TV unless it's on something Netflix pre-recorded. People just don't have time to sit in on stuff. So if they can't go back and watch it, they're less likely to tune into it.
Absolutely.
So we said, well, Facebook is doing this live thing, and people can go watch it anytime they want to.
Anytime they want.
And a lot of people are on social media, so we dug right into it. We could have did broadcasting on TV, we could have did broadcasting on radio. It just didn't make any sense to go that way.
Right.
So this is. We pretty much landed on a gold mine when we hit this one. So, and it works out well. But we did the research on what was happening and what people were looking at. So it's important to understand not only your market but who you're trying to target, like you said.
Yeah. Also, and to piggyback off of him, we also wanted to just touch on things that is the core of who we are. Too.
Yes,
absolutely.
So it's more, organic, like it's not forced.
Right.
Right. But how do we reach the most people?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's where the research comes in.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely.
So, okay, so we got the branding, you know what I'm saying? Make sure your business look good. You know what I'm saying? Make sure this is something that you want to do.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? If I want to go sell hot dogs, I need to step back a little bit and figure out who else is selling hot dogs. You know what I'm saying? Who's my competition?
Right.
Who's buying the hot dogs? The 100-year-olds might not be buying hot dogs.
Right.
That's it.
Even though their teeth ain't there, they might be,
They might be
let
gumming
me
it.
stop. They can still get some hot dogs. But I need to look at the young people. They might want hot dogs with ketchup on it.
That's
That's
it.
Right.
So,
That's
Relish.
it. That's
Yeah.
it.
Does anyone eat relish?
oh
Yes.
my goodness.
Yes.
Relish.
Relish. I haven't
Relish.
seen a person eat relish in about 20 years.
What?
That
I
would
have
be
to
me.
have
I
mine
love
on
relish.
every
Relish
hot
is the
dog. I
best.
want relish and hot mustard and ketchup.
Thank you.
There
This
are a
is
lot
a
of
whole
things that are
hot
very
dog
questionable
show.
to me when it comes to eating.
Hey, listen.
What?
There's a lot of things that are very questionable
doesn't
to me
eat
when it
relish?
comes to
He
eating.
doesn't
I don't
eat.
eat a lot of stuff.
He doesn't eat.
Oh.
Like literally, like he'll go and order like listen, let me get that double cheeseburger, no cheese, no pickle.
That would be me. She hates going places.
No
Oh
mayo,
my God.
no mustard, no ketchup.
She hates it.
I want half of the burger
I
in,
hate
half the
it.
burger out.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
That's me.
I walk in with Shamar, but the Queen of England shows up by the time we get to her, because it's like I would like my cheese steeped at 170 level.
Oh my
I would like you
goodness.
to bring the lettuce. Is this lettuce from Indianapolis? Is it imported lettuce? I'm just like,
I want
Jesus.
more romaine. I don't want the
Oh
ice.
my
I want the dark lettuce.
Yes.
The romaine.
I want the
And this
romaine.
might be at Old Charlie. Slow down.
That's hilarious.
I just question a lot of stuff.
I understand.
My mama tell you, I question a lot of stuff. I mean,
That's
there's
all right.
stuff that we eat for Thanksgiving every year, and I still question it.
Lord have
What-
mercy.
And it's nothing against
You
me.
can't
I'm just
do
very
that.
picky. I'm just a very picky eater.
Pick another
Wrong with
holiday
that.
like Arbor Day.
I want anything anything that swims in the sea.
Yeah?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Oh my gosh.
If
You know
you're
what?
a food
Lobster?
that came from the sea, you
Oh, no,
will not be
you-
ate. You will not be
You
touched
shouldn't
from
eat
me.
lobster.
Salmon?
Catfish?
Nothing.
Hey,
Nothing.
y'all
No
should
shrimp.
not eat any bottom feeders.
No shrimp. No
That's true.
Those are
caviar.
bottom feeders.
Now,
Shrimp, lobster,
catfish, I understand, Pat.
Bottom feeders, though.
But lobster. Come on.
That's bottom feeders, though. You can't eat it. You know, look.
Oh.
Okay, let's get back to
Word.
business. Let's get back to
Right.
business. Let's get back to
What's
business.
the word?
But
We
look,
don't
listen.
talk about that.
Let's get back to
Listen,
business.
but like I do have a question though.
Yes,
okay?
sir.
So now you have this person that is
Uh-huh.
working every day,
Mm-hmm.
and they want to start their own business, right?
Mm-hmm.
But every day they go back and forth. So I mean, I hear what you guys are like saying about, hey, do not quit your job. But what if they just have to jump in order to get
Come
to
on
that?
now.
Because some people.
Come on now. Okay.
Because some people might say, you know what, man, today is the day I'm going to walk in there and tell them I'm done, and then I'm going to just take my capital and start this
Right.
business, right?
Okay.
But if they stay, they may waver and go back and forth because they're comfortable.
Yeah.
That's the key. You
Okay.
said the key word. I'm taking my capital with me and I'm leaving. Either I'm
Gotcha.
cashing out my 401, whatever you need to do. When I first started Pressed Oil, this was 1999, 98. I cashed out $98,000 in a 401k at that time. I was young and I had that, but I had stock. And I cashed it out. I lost a lot of money because I was under the age of 20. I think it was like 27 or whatever. And I lost penalties, etc.
35%, right?
Yeah,
35%.
plus more. So
Yeah.
I ended up walking away. Long story short, after taxes and penalties, I walked away with $32,000, and used that money to start the first Pressed Oil. Then the second Pressed Oil, I lost all that, ups and downs, roller coasters. Lost it, started again. $25 in my pocket. You know what I'm saying? Single mom at the time, and started again. This time I had wisdom, right? So let me just speak to that real quick, because all of us are women of faith. So we believe God said go, go. You know what I'm saying? If God said do, do. However, God also is a God of order. So if you got 4 kids and your husband's working part-time and you decide I'm going to leave my job at this moment, is that God? You know what I'm saying? Make sure you get a clear word from God first.
Right.
Because if God gave it to you, the same God that gave it to you, the same God is going to sustain it, not us.
Right.
We don't sustain the marriage group. God sustains the marriage group. You know, so Davisha don't sustain Susu. God sustains Susu because she walked out on faith.
Right.
And he is a rewarder of them who diligently seek him. You can't please God unless you walk by faith.
Absolutely.
You know, so if we're walking by faith, we're pleasing to him. So that reward is coming. But if we're not, you know, if we're walking out on fear, you know, then we'll feel that. Then you will waver up and down, you know. But there's a scripture that's come to my mind in James. It's a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. You know, and just believe that he would, you know what I'm saying, and me not believe he would get anything from God. You know, so it's like he's like a ship without a sail, back and fro, you know, just being tossed by the winds.
Right.
And I feel like that is what people do when they're like, hey, did God tell me? No, he didn't. Yes, he did. No, he did. You will know when God has told you to go.
Right.
You will know. You will have
sleep.
fear. Yeah,
Sweat.
come on now.
You can't say
It's
it
in
your job.
you. It's in
Yeah,
you. It's
you know,
in
it
you.
bothers
It's
you.
in you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know God told you. So yes, you're fearful, but you're still walking out on faith.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So when Terry and I started the marriage group, we didn't know it was going to turn into this.
Right.
We did not know our first year we would hit, our first full year, we would clear our goals beyond what we ever thought we could. We didn't know the state would be calling on us, the city would be calling on us. We didn't know the private clubs would be coming after us. We didn't know none of that. We just knew God said go.
Right.
God said go.
And now y'all in the gray area.
Now we in the gray area. Come on with it. Come on with it. Come on with it. Come on with it. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, Pat, is key. You have to, yes, you want to, what I'm saying is yes, you want to step out on faith, but you want to make sure you get a word first. And you got to make sure, you got to think about your family. We had a gentleman come in and he was saying, yeah, I'm going to quit my job. And Terry's like, the devil? You know, you got 3 children, you got 4 kids, your wife is barely working, you know. No, you're not going to quit your job right now. I know you gung-ho and excited. We can tend to be moved by emotion.
Right.
And we can be moved by what we see, we think is going to be like.
Right.
You know, and it's not like that sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, so we have to make sure we're logical and strategic in making these moves. You know, and not just jumping out there. I did that. Failed the first time. Jumped out there and lost $32,000. I'm flying my mama to Bishop T.D. Jakes Church first and last. You know what I'm saying? I'm slapping $100 bills in people's hands. And I lost my money. You know what I'm saying? Being pretentious. And I just was like, man, hey, I learned that. God did say go, but God didn't tell me go like that.
Right.
You know.
You'll know when you hit that door.
Yeah, hey,
when it's time to stop
that's
and
it.
change up.
That's it. So, amen.
That's awesome. You know, and that's the kind of thing that's going on because there's people out there that spend their money in casinos. You know, there's people that you know lose money in the stock market. So many different ways, and oftentimes you just got to pull back and reset. You know, so you deal with a lot of nonprofit.
Yes.
Information. There's a lot of people in this city that do non-for-profit organizations.
Yeah.
And they are great. You know, great things is going on, but oftentimes, oftentimes people don't understand what they need. I was one of them. I thought, hey, put a donate button on there and watch the money come in.
Right.
But there's a process that has to take place to become a nonprofit, and you have to lawfully have a 503c. So can you tell the people what they need?
It's 501c.
Go on, Terry. Terry, she gonna tell you. Go ahead, Terry.
Hey, Terry about to break it down. Okay. Let me sit up straight. Let's go, Terry.
Come on, Terry.
Here's the thing about nonprofits, because I think sometimes with nonprofits, people take on that they get involved in the altruistic part of nonprofit. I'm giving, I'm helping, but there is a business side to a nonprofit. And so the same principles that work in for-profit works in the nonprofit. You still have to bring in income. You still have to be sustainable. You still, actually, as a nonprofit, you are competing for more dollars than you would than a for-profit. Because as a for-profit, I can have a niche. You know, I can have a niche and say, I'm in this market. But if everybody's giving away clothes, you know, everybody's competing for that same Lilly grant. So what makes you different? So that goes back to, what am I really solving? Again, I'm all about problem solving. If you're not solving a problem, it's a hobby.
I know that's it,
You're just doing it for yourself, to make yourself feel better. But with the 501c3, and I just want to break that down. Let me tell everybody this. A 501c3 does not make it absolute. You got it. You know, it is a process to get your 501c3, but in that process, the 501c3 just makes you available. It gives you the opportunity to get corporate sponsorships. It gives you the opportunity to receive land. It gives you the opportunity to receive items that are tax exempt.
Right.
That is not the end all to a nonprofit. A lot of people say, hey, I go to the Secretary of State, I got my 501c3 grants, are just going to start pouring in.
Right.
Grants right now, if you are a nonprofit and you are less than 3 years, don't bank on a grant.
Right.
Don't even try.
Right.
And I know people will tell you, don't say that. No,
Right.
it's real talk because
Right.
grants are often now like loans.
Right.
You know, and you have to partner with other people.
Yeah,
You have to
Right.
come out of who you are to
Right.
get that grant
There's a lot
money.
of companies that have been grandfathered in because
Yes.
they're legit. They've been
Yeah.
around for a long time.
Absolutely. And giving was
Right.
different. You know, 10 years ago, you could say I got a 501c3 and Lily would just throw you some money.
Right.
Or, you know, the hospital corporation would throw you some money. But now they're saying, okay, for this $50,000 grant, I need to see your plan. I need to see if you have the leadership to work a budget. I need to see if you're actually going to do the things you said you're going to do. I
Right.
mean, you look at what happened with Katrina. You had all these nonprofits popping up with 501c3 and the work was not being completed.
Right.
Homes were not being built. People were not getting what they needed. So now people are saying, okay, I need to see your first 90 days. Can you work this
Wow.
money?
Right.
And
Right.
if you can, I'll give, okay.
When you say your first 90 days, you're saying, what your processes are.
Yes.
When it comes to government funding, and I know this by doing paperwork all day long, that you have to have your stuff together. If you get audited, that money can be removed just
Come on.
as easy as you got it.
And you can go to jail. A lot of people don't realize that 501c3.
Tell them like it is, Terry. You can go to jail.
I mean, for real. I mean, just think about it. Just because you're a nonprofit or you're a church or whatever, and if you
Right.
say, I've taken some money to do this thing,
Right.
and I don't,
You're not doing that.
they're going to say, hey, what's up? That is stealing.
You stole, right?
If I say, hey, I'm taking $10,000, I'm buying water for everybody on 86th Street,
Right.
and you see me and I got new, I got new hair, I got a new car, and I'm just out here,
Living good.
I'm living good, and when you ask for my audited tax, if you ask for my budget and there's nothing there, you stole.
Right.
I don't care how good of a heart you have.
Right.
You have to be a good steward. That's
That's
going
it.
back to God. It's God's money.
Is that the problem with a lot of the foundations that are out? Because, I mean, like, so much money that's coming to the community and going to a lot of the non-for-profits, and I don't see any change. It's like, what's going on?
Okay, so I'm just going to keep it 1,000.
Let's keep it 1,000.
Please.
I think the problem is we have a lot of people doing the same thing.
Okay.
And instead of us collaborating together and saying, okay, we can partner together. Let's just say there's 10 people giving away food.
Right.
I don't need to start another nonprofit to give away food.
Right.
I need to say, what are they already doing? What is my skill set to help them?
Right.
And I can see where there is a point that I might be doing something different.
Right.
So if you have 10 people and everybody's giving away food, you might have 10 cans of green beans. Well, everybody got 1 can.
Right.
Great.
Right.
But if you say, let's all partner together, we could have got all those 10 cans and got those out to the people.
Right.
So
Yeah.
the big problem is the repetitiveness
Right.
of organizations.
Right.
We got organizations doing the same thing instead of saying, let me work a little bit. If I want a nonprofit and somebody's already working, shout out to Pastor Donnell Howard. Pastor Donnell Howard is doing great stuff with boys. Pastor Jackson is doing great stuff with boys. How do I go and be a part of those organizations
Right.
and make them better?
Absolutely.
Not let me start something on the west side doing the exact same thing.
Right.
Now you're breaking up the resources and you're confusing the public of who's really doing the work.
Right.
So I think we just have to, with nonprofits, I think people are so quick to say, let me start a nonprofit because I have a good charity I want
Right.
to do.
Right.
Instead of saying, how can I be a collaborative partner
Right.
and build
That's
the
what I'm saying.
actual result of what
Right.
I want to have. If I want black boys to go to college, let me find another organization and pour my heart into it,
Right.
make it better, and then I can say, okay, after they get to college, maybe they need support after.
Right.
You know, we had a client the other day that said, I want to start a nonprofit for people that are exceptional that nobody thinks about. Because they're always talking about at-risk kids. Let's do
Right.
something for at-risk kids. But what if I'm not an at-risk kid?
Right.
What if I did have a 2-parent
What
home?
if you're just a great kid that don't have the resources?
Nobody
Right.
cares about
Exactly.
you.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
everybody's like, they're a great kid. We don't have to pay attention, and you're going to do it right.
Yeah.
So we'll pay attention. Why don't you say these kids need a mentor of how to be in corporate America,
Right.
how to network, how to present
These are the ones
themselves?
we
Learn
should be
things that
building
they're
up.
not learning.
Actually, you're right. That's
Yeah.
exactly right. Terry, that kind of, I'm going to say something a little controversial, but I know you're
Uh-oh.
going to go with me on it. So when you talk about the why not join forces in collaboration, use the tool collaboration to do this thing here?
Yes.
Do you think it's because, like you said, I want to be the founder. I want to be the person that started that nonprofit for that person. You know, because in a business you have that credit. You know, it's like, in a business you're like, hey, I started that company. We started American. We started Susu. It is what it is. Y'all started the great area. So, but a nonprofit, why do you think it's so much more competitive in lack of collaboration?
That's a good question. Because a lot of people, like, you got the other side. Let's collab, but then that person doesn't want to collab.
Right.
They got all the money, but they don't want to branch off and share some of the resources.
Right.
But they got too many kids that they can't help.
Absolutely.
And who's really suffering? The kids are.
Right. I think some of it is due to ego, and some of it, to be honest, is just bad management skills.
Right.
You know, I tell anybody, if you want to start a church, you need to go and get an MBA first.
Okay.
Because you need
that makes sense.
You need to be able to manage the business side of it. Yes, you can pray for folks. Yes, you can lay them out. Yes, their souls are getting saved. But when they bring in the money, how's it distributed?
Right.
How do you need admin? We have to pay property tax.
Yeah.
What I think happens is sometimes there's mismanagement in nonprofits because you have a person with a big idea and a great heart.
Right.
But when it comes to the business side of it, to the visionary side of it, on the business aspect, it can wane, and that can hurt people's morale. Like if you got somebody that's awesome, you know, and you say, man, this person is a visionary and they're doing stuff well, and you know, every year y'all lose $100,000.
Right.
After a while, you're gonna be like, I need to just start my own thing, and that might be out of emotion, and that might just be out of frustration, instead of saying, okay, are you humble enough to say, I'm good at being the visionary, but I need somebody under me that can be the detail person, and we take this to the next level. And I think that's really what needs to be happening. People need to have real conversations. Shamar and I, we think we are the best at what we do, but we know our strong suits. We know we need somebody to help with our schedule. We could do it, but why not give it to somebody that this is what they love to do? And I think sometimes in the communities, we get to a point of people just look at the mission and not the management of the nonprofit. You need somebody to manage, and you need a Martin Luther King, but you need a Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks was she was great. She was a secretary, and she was great at what she did. And she had a nice place where she worked. So she, even though she became a face, initially she was a pillar. And I think we need pillar people, and visionary people need to be okay with letting pillar people run organizations.
Natural born leaders, let them delegate.
Absolutely. And sometimes they try to do both, and it's a hot mess.
And real leaders also, they know how to follow. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So it's like a real leader understands they're teachable, You know, they understand that as a leader, I don't know. Actually, the more that I think I know, the more I realize I don't know.
To be a teacher, you must be a student.
First, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, I believe that's why Davisha came out so strong. Is because I never went through a domestic violence experience like that. You know, and for her to come out of it and for us to take this powerful passion that she had and to put it in this segmented process and vision and mission and core. She had to go with that. She could have been like, no, that's not how it flows. That's not what I want. That's not how I feel. She was like, you know what? I know my passion. I know my purpose. You don't know the process. Let's work together.
There you go.
You know, and she from there allowed her vision to flourish because she was teachable.
That's why, man, let me set this chick here.
I know that's
She's just the bomb. Not to interrupt.
No, you're fine.
But you know, there's other people doing what she was doing, not specifically in the domestic violence, but Davisha has just come in and become a storm because she was focused.
Come on.
She was focused and she was willing to sacrifice. You know, I had a mentor that said every American will make at least $1 million in their lifetime. It's how you spend it and invest it. And she made sure that she said this is an investment. It's not an expense. Sometimes people look at consultants as this is an expense I gotta pay. It's an investment into your wealth. And that's why she's gangbusters, because she sacrificed. She remembers, we don't know everything she sacrificed. She knows the days when she said, I want to go get my hair done, or I want to go out to eat, or I want to go buy this, and I can't. So I know that passion flows in. I'm helping women, and this is why I sacrifice. And that's why there's other people just say, I think I can do this, and this is great. But not putting in the sacrifice and not going through the process. It allows you to be a little, flippant about you having a business. She builds every day because she knew what she had to put to the side, and that's why.
Started with passion. Started with passion. How important is it to hire people? The hiring process. Period. You know, a lot of people think, oh, you know how to do that. You know, you come over here. You know how to do that. You do this. Everybody ain't good for every position, even if they got the talent.
I know, bless God, hallelujah.
Personality plays a part in that.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
How do you define, what person is a good fit for what you for what you hire them for?
Well, I believe first we need to create exactly what the role is,
Okay.
right? So that's number one. So what are the roles? What are the tasks? What kind of personality fits good in this role?
Okay.
So if we have someone that wants to make calls, for
Right.
our executive assistant, usually an executive assistant is someone that has to take orders. Just keeping it real, right? Someone has to be quick on the draw. That has to be teachable in a sense to where they're like, okay, I may not know how Terry likes this, but I'm learning.
Right.
They have to be strong enough to say, no, I don't think that's a good idea for you. No, you can't take that appointment today.
Right.
No, you're not going to go do that today because
Right.
you didn't sleep yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to be strong enough. So it's a healthy balance.
Right.
So there's assessments out there, and a lot of times people don't look at that. Like, I'm just going to hire. No, do an assessment first.
Yeah.
Before you look at the resume, because it's like a website. You can
Right.
put up a website and be working out your garage. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Look like you're global, right?
Right.
And you're not. But the resume could look like somebody is exactly who you want them to be, and you take an assessment and they don't fit that role.
Yeah.
Right.
So every role in a company has a personality that goes
Absolutely.
with it.
It does.
We
that's
use
what I'm saying.
we use what's called the DISC assessment. There's several out there. There's
I've heard of
strength
DISC.
finders,
Absolutely.
and DISC driver, expressive, amiable, and conscientious or analytical, right?
Right.
So amiable.
A, B, C, D.
Yeah, right. So the high drivers are usually those people. You don't want a bunch of high drivers working together on the team. Ain't gonna just be arguing the whole time about
Right.
what.
Man, it needs to go this way.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
nothing get done.
Yeah, nothing get done. There's the
It's gonna
halt.
go our way.
Everybody arguing,
I'm gonna tell y'all something. The DISC program is awesome.
Yes, it is.
And,
Yes, it
and
is.
if you purchase it or go through the Merit Group, it's so worth it.
Yes, it is.
Because you do find, like you said, you can have a bunch of people that are leaders.
Yes.
All of them don't need to be leaders. All of them
Yeah.
don't need to. You might need to say, okay, we can't do this.
Right.
Then you got people who love to work. Who
Right.
love to follow.
You
know what
just
I'm
brought
saying?
something up. Okay,
Yeah.
so my pastor used to always tell me, don't let your gift take you where your
Right.
character cannot keep you.
Yes.
So
Powerful.
when I'm
Yes.
thinking about a person, there's a dichotomy between my character and my role. Just because you have the character to be the leader
Right.
doesn't mean you need to right now.
Right.
You know,
Absolutely.
you need to stay where you
Absolutely.
at. You need to humble yourself
Right.
a little
Because
bit
true
more
leader
to
is gonna
learn.
be a student.
Yeah,
Right.
first before
Right.
you graduate to that
Right.
position. So a lot of times, I hate to do this, but I got to with millennials is they're like, well, I want to do what you do right now. I
Right.
want to get what you got right now.
Right.
And they can. You can microwave it, but it's
Right.
not going to be the same as putting that thing in the
Exactly.
oven at 425 degrees for 5 hours.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Right.
Because there's so much you learn during that process.
Right.
But kind of going back real quick to the DISC, drivers usually are great in leadership positions. They're results oriented. They're aggressive. We're conversational people, but you got 5 minutes to tell me the story, so hurry up. You know what I'm saying? It's quick.
Right, right.
Amiable people are love people, love relationships, love building
Talking,
people,
communication.
love they want everybody to be happy. Doggone
Right.
it, everybody smile. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
And that's good. And then expressives are usually people that are motivational speakers.
Right.
I'm sure. I think you were an expressive. One of y'all was somebody.
analytical.
You're okay, analytic, expressive. You know what I mean? They want exuberant personality. Pastors, motivational speakers, and then there's analytical people that look at what you're doing right now. You're perfect. Look. You got you got the what's this thing? Keyboard thing here
Yep.
in front of
Mixer.
you.
Yeah, mixer.
That's all analytics all day. You're looking at how it works.
Yep.
You were checking the sound. You know what I mean? We got Pat over there. He's commenting to people. He's
Yeah.
talking.
Amicable.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And expressive,
Yeah.
right? But both y'all got driver in you because you both
Absolutely.
want to start a company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's knowing who you are and being okay with that.
Right.
And knowing the kind of person you want in that role.
Knowing those roles.
knowing the
it
roles
doesn't mean
first.
that you can't be one or the other. You
No.
just have to
Right.
know who's going to do what at that time.
Know
There
what
has to
they
be a
should do.
compromise,
Right.
man.
Yeah.
A sense of humility, like in the roles.
Right.
Yeah. And know what they should do,
Absolutely.
why they should do it, how they should do it, and then deploy them to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, developing leaders around you, John Maxwell said, a lot of times people don't do what they're supposed to because they don't know what to do.
Right. Right.
You didn't tell me, you mad at me, but you didn't tell me to go
Exactly.
clean the kitchen. I don't know.
Exactly.
So it's like, but you mad. So sometimes we as leaders can fail our staff
Right.
because we don't teach them what we want and we assume they know what we want. That's a problem for a driver.
Right.
Is
Right.
they can tend to assume that you know.
Drivers get very tired, very stubborn and standoffish. So understanding who you are. Let's talk about partnership. Everybody doesn't. I mean, some people. I've seen this happen. Best friend. We grew up together. We've been together since for 20 years. It doesn't always work out for some people.
Humility, man. Share.
Me and Patrick has been knowing each other for a long time. Building a business has always been in the works for probably the past 10 years. We just now decided to do it. So it wasn't oh, this sounds like a good idea, let's just go do it. We really put some thought into this. And there are people out there who naturally feel like, I've been growing up with this person, this is my homie, this is my road dog, ain't no way I'm gonna leave him, we're gonna do this together. But you got one person that is worker leadership, and then you got one person that don't know what's going on. In business, in business, that may fail. That's not a good mixture. Right. How do people define somebody that's good to work with them, even if it's their friend, family? Because everybody doesn't always fit in the scheme of things when it comes to you building a business. And I've seen it time and time again. You want to bring your homie in and y'all gonna do this, but they got their own agenda. They've been knowing you for a long time, so they're comfortable. They don't feel like they got to do the process like you're supposed to do the process. What do you say to those people?
Partnership is marriage.
Yes.
It's not for the faint of heart. And I think people have to be realistic about, do we have the same goals at the end of the day? Because I had partners before the marriage group, and I think sometimes people in business can focus, I just want to get the money. And you have somebody that might say, I have a purpose. Right. And if you have I just want the money, and I have a purpose, I don't care how long you can try to sustain it, it won't work, because your worldview is different.
Right.
Yes.
So when you're getting into partnership, one, you have to look at, is this person business savvy? I don't care if this is my girl, it's my dog. Right. If you spend money and throw away money and make bad decisions and are, I don't need to try to start a global corporation with you.
I know that.
It needs, and you need to complement one another. I think the thing that people love about the Marriott Group is that we complement one another. I don't try to be Shamar, and Shamar doesn't try to be Terry. Right. We complement each other, and we understand each other's strengths and weaknesses, and we set out roles. Right. What are you naturally great at? Right. Do that. Don't come over here and try to do my thing. Right. And I'm naturally love contracts. Shamar is naturally love marketing. I think those things marry well together because they don't overlap, but they work in harmony. Yes. And I think, and it also takes humbleness, and just to be honest, it takes God.
Absolutely.
It can't just be, we have a great personality. It has to be God to say, there's times that we have argued, there's times that we really had to say, who's going to do this? Who's going to take the lead on that? And you can't have a person, she's taking all, you can't have a person in their feelings.
Yes.
At the end of the day, this has to be for the purpose to move this forward. Like with us, we have to think about our children. I know they might not but our staff are like our babies. Right. So we have to think, when it was just us, we could think about, this works for Terry and Shamar. Cool, we could do that. We could take this risk. When you have other people that are depending on you to eat and pay their bills, you have to take a step back and say, I might want to do this, we might want to do this, but
who's it going to affect?
How does it affect the household? Right. And if you're not ready to think in those terms, if you are bad with relationships and people, don't get a partnership. I mean, because because that's going to come out. If you the person that everybody I can't be around all the time, it's you. And you don't need to say, I need to bring another group of people into my dysfunction. I think people don't look at that with a business. Yes. They just think, I know how to make money, I know how to sell. Right. But if you have to be right internally, you have to be whole and ready to face this. Right. If I told somebody the other day, you're not emotionally ready to start a business. And they were like, what do my emotions have to do? If you can't handle adversity, if you can't handle disappointment and rejection, if you can't handle people not believing in you, if you need constant affirmation, business is not for you. Right. You need to find something that can lead you, or go to a leadership program or coaching that can lead you to a place where you say, I'm confident in all that I am. Right. If you're not there, don't start a business, don't get in a partnership. So it takes you being a person. I know exactly who I am, and I know exactly who I'm not. So I can move the mission forward of this purpose that we create.
Right. Awesome. Wow.
Someone said to me today, I was on the phone, they were dealing with something, and she said, I am so tired in business always having to bite my tongue. And I said, it's good for you because it matures you in relationships. You don't always have to say everything, you know. And especially when you're dealing with people in business, my thing is it worth it? At the end of the day, is it worth your reputation? Is it worth your contract? Is it worth it?
Right.
So you just getting the last word in. Is that worth this person now telling 10 of her friends never to go to you again because
your brand.
come on, because you had to say what's on your
Word of
mind.
mouth travels far.
Quick.
It does. And then
Quick.
and then you add social media to that.
Oh man, it's a
even
wrap.
faster.
It's a wrap.
So this is how
You
businesses
know?
are being crushed by one employee. I mean,
Yeah.
like saying something
It's
they
a
weren't
wrap.
supposed to say. I mean, information definitely travels faster these days.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Absolutely.
you must take care of your brand. Don't let one angry customer ruin your whole business relationship with people.
But you know, it's a learning. Instead of looking at it, don't ever look at it like they're coming at you. What they're really telling you is, this is not working.
Right.
I'm just not expressing to you it's not working in a way you like to hear it.
Right.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? But this right here process, I don't like. You didn't call me back. I don't feel like you followed up with me. I don't feel like you care. I don't feel like I'm important. So really what they're saying is you have no follow-up process. You have no communication pattern.
Right.
Exactly.
So you need to institute a communication pattern. Instead of getting mad, I got 10,000 clients I'm working with. Well, they don't care because all they know is I'm your client. I paid you $10,000 and that's all I care about.
Exactly.
You know, so for us, we see a bunch of $10,000. For them, they see I pay you my only out of my savings account, and I was saving that for my rainy day or just in case I lose my job, and I invested all my money in this.
Right.
You know, so we have to be very gentle because we really do have to realize we're literally playing a part. When you take money from somebody, that money means something to somebody. It meant their time, it meant their effort, it meant their sacrifice, it meant their intelligence, it meant their experiences, it meant their education. So we're taking money from somebody. So we have to make sure that we're handling that money appropriately.
Right.
And if you take money from someone and you make them feel like, well, you're just another number to me, that's not cool. Especially when you partner with God and partner with people to build the dream that God put on the inside of them. You can't take that lightly. So at the Marriott Group, we call ourselves modern day Moses. A friend of mine, Dr. Verlene Turner, said yesterday, she said, you are a marketplace apostle. You continue to build businesses. That's just what I've known you for 20 years. That's what you do. You go everywhere you go. Who can drop in a new city, don't know nobody, and just partner with somebody and build a company?
$1 million company.
You know what I'm saying? In 2 years.
Amazing.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like she's like that's that apostle anointing in the marketplace. So when you are working with individuals and you're taking that money, like keeping it real, like Susu. We're working with Davisha. She has what, 4 children?
I have 4 children.
Davisha got 4 kids, a husband. You know what I'm saying? And she didn't play. She paid her payments. She put her down on it. She came to all her sessions. She did all her homework. It meant something to her.
Right.
So we can't get lazy in her purpose.
Right.
We have to stay just as passionate
It
with her.
More,
But imagine how it feels for us because, you know, now we're well over 180, 190 clients. So we're looking at all that. Davisha's passion is singular. It's for her. But our passion is multiplicity because we got passion for you, we got passion for you, we got a passion for you, we got a passion for you. So every time we go in that room, God has anointed us to be passionate over you at that moment.
Right.
And then we walk away and we're done. And we do it again. You know what I mean?
Right.
So in saying that, I just want to say it again. If you guys are anybody's taking money from other people, realize that money equates to something. You got to treat that with diligence, you know, and with delicacy.
Right.
You know, when you're doing that.
Right.
Powerful. Davisha, last time, you know, you touched on like your testimony and everything. Would you mind sharing that, like, and how you got started?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So my testimony is this. I'm gonna try to give it the shortest one I can.
Go on, girl.
I
Tell
was
it, Davisha.
in domestic violence
details.
for.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna give you details.
Yes. Dig in, get that shovel.
I know that's
Okay.
it.
So I started being in a relationship. I was 15 years old. By the time I was 16, I was being dragged down a hallway at a basketball game. I was a senior in high school. I was pregnant with my first child. And by 19, I graduated and we moved in together. 3 months later, we were hollering and screaming at each other every single day in front of our child. That went on for about 2 years. I said I was done. I left. He started stalking me. And it was something like crazy you see on Lifetime. He was jumping out of bushes at me. At this time, I was about 21. Our son probably was about 2 or 3.
How old is this guy?
When I first started dating, he's 2 years older than me.
Okay.
So he was 17 at the time. So, And by the way, he grew up in a domestic violence home.
Okay.
And so, like I said, I left. He started stalking me, and by now my son was about 3 years old. He's every day we're arguing every single day, and I'm not talking about just hollering. We're screaming and hollering at each other, you know. And so it was just bad. And all the time he was kicking in my doors. He was scratching on my cars. I mean, it was a time I can remember we were driving down the street and he had hit me with the car. And I was in the car, and he hit the back of my car and kept hitting the back of my car until I pulled over. And then it was like it was a match then. I knew that it was going to be a match. So that's what it was. And so that went on, and we ended up getting pregnant by him again. And so that pregnancy, he denied me, saying that the baby wasn't his. I was very depressed. He was always stalking me. I was going in the house at night, acting like I wasn't there with the lights off and stuff like that. Man, yeah, it was crazy. And so I went and had my daughter, and he came to the hospital, seen her being born, and he came over to me and said, "You better be lucky, this baby is mine," and showed me a gun. Went home with him 2 days later. We moved in again together. It was the same thing over and over again, arguing, screaming, just the put down. It was always a put down. It never was good enough, which I was always like on it. You know what I mean?
Since he wanted to, he wanted to keep you weak. He
Yeah,
wanted to make sure that, that
I
he
made it so I
controlled
was
that aspect
there.
of you. And I believe, and honestly believe, that he's seen the leadership in you that you display today.
Yeah.
That's what he was trying to keep down.
Yeah. I believe that too. That went on, and I just gave up and said I was done, because over the course of 10 years, I probably moved about 10 times, changed jobs, probably about 10 times. You know, this time I was like, I'm done. I'm going to change my kids' daycare. I changed my cell phone number. I changed my job. I changed everything that I can change, and I moved all the way on the east side of town. Didn't know nothing about the east side of town, but I moved me and my kids on the east side of town. And so only person knew where I was my mom, because at that time, that's all I can trust, because I was isolated from everybody. I moved and didn't hear nothing from him for 2 weeks. I pulled up to the apartment, lo and behold, there it was.
Wow.
How did he know? Because he'd been stalking me all this time. And so I'm pulling up, and my kids are like, "Oh, Daddy," you know, by then my son is 2, my son's 5, my daughter's 2. And so they pull up, and I see him, and I'm like, okay, it's only one or two things. You're going to stay, and you're going to deal with the argument, or you're going to leave, because he's going to come after you. You know, and there's no need for him to come after you in the car, again, with the kids in the car. So we got out, and he pushed me in the house, and we were arguing back and forth. I got a restraining order. It just got to the point, at this point, it was so stocked, I was so controlled. I can remember getting up in the mornings, getting my kids ready with the lights off, parking my car 2 or 3 streets over. We were taking showers in the dark. I would come out the house, lock the door. I would have my daughter on my hip, my hand, we would run to the car.
Wow.
Because I didn't want him to like mess up our day, because it was just too much. I mean, if he comes to the house in the morning, the kid's day is ruined. My day is ruined. You know what I mean? And
they're witnessing all this.
Yeah, and it was just a lot of emotion. At the time, I didn't know the emotional distress that my son had. You know what I mean? So that went on and off for about another 6 months. And I told him I was done. My mom said, if you want to be done with this, you got to cut every single thing off. You need to quit taking money from him. You need to quit having sex with him. You need to quit going back and forth.
Right.
So, yeah, and so I did.
What kept you going back and forth?
Let's pause that.
Was it like fear, or I mean, what kept you going back and forth?
I think the back and forth for me, especially towards the end, was the kids. Okay. You know what I mean? I'm just like, okay, maybe this is going to work again. Right. Over the years,
you had a lot of faith in this.
Yeah, I loved him. You know what I mean? So it was like at a young age, you know, you believe in this whole fairy tale thing that you see on TV, this first love and your sweetheart and everything. So what it was, you know, eventually what I kept saying to myself at the beginning stages was, I want to, you know, help him change. He's going to get better. This is going to change. But towards the end, it was like, you know, over the course, it's like, and he would tell me, nobody's going to want you with 2 kids. You're not going to be anything with 2 kids. You know what I mean? Those type of things keep you because you're like, okay, I'm not. You know, you believe it. So those things I believed in, I just stayed. And I kept going back.
So he played a huge part in keeping you there psychologically. So,
yeah,
you know,
it was a lot of mental and verbal abuse that took place that led to emotional abuse. So when someone is sitting there telling you're no good, calling you bees, telling you you're not a good mother, telling you you're not going to do good things in life, you start to believe them. But I always had hope. Always had hope, no matter what. I think that's what sustained me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just keeping that hope that I know that I'm better than this.
Right.
You know, I can do better, but really didn't have the resources to do better.
Right.
Didn't know where to go because I didn't even know how to talk about it.
Right.
So, yeah.
So what changed? What got you out of that? And
I got fed up. 10 years of it. I was 25 years old. I was like, okay, this is not going to change, Davicia. He's not going to change.
Right.
You got to give this up completely. So once my mom told me that, I had to start cutting everything off. And he seen that I was done. It got bad. It got real bad because he was, like, my kid's birthday was in October and I wasn't engaged with him. Their birthdays were always together. We always done that together. You know what I mean? I wasn't engaged. I wasn't following him. I wasn't trying to seek out what he was doing.
Right.
I wasn't paying attention to him anymore. So then he needed to see what was going on.
You aligned more with yourself and your purpose.
Yeah.
You know, because when people tend to do that, the other people start looking on the outside, looking in, and they want to get back in, so they start acting crazy.
Yeah. And so once he figured out I was done, and that he figured out I would moved on and started dating other people. That last 24 hours of that relationship, that day I dropped my kids off at his mom's house because he was getting them, and he like came out of the house. And I was still in the car, and the kids was walking up the driveway, and he came out of the house and just started trying to kick in the glass door on the driver's side. So I drove off, and I can remember seeing my kids in the background screaming and howling.
Right.
So I called the house and was like, I'm coming back to get them. And their mom was there, his mom was there, and his sister was there, and was like, we're going to just get the kids. He's got to go. This is getting too much on it. Right. They had seen it back and forth. You know what I mean? And so I was like, okay, so I went to the mall with my friend, and we went shopping, came back home, lo and behold, he's inside the house. This had happened previous time to time. He would kick in the door. This is not the first time. I mean, it was several times before this, over this 6-month period, that he would be in the house. I would be unlocking the door, he'd be in, saying, where you been?
Right.
And it's pitch black. So, I mean, that's terrifying. But yeah, he was in the house, and he had pulled me in, and so, like, it had gotten so bad at this point that my son, every time his dad came to the house, he called 911. It don't matter if he was picking them up. He had called. Right, and it was real. That's how bad it was, and that's why I was saying at this point I knew that it's time to let go. So if my son was calling 911, he snatched the whole phone out of the wall, broke my cell phone. We're arguing for 2 or 3 hours. The police eventually called from that call that never went through. They come, see what's going on. The police officer looks up the restraining order, doesn't find it in the system, sends him on his way. I take my kids to my mom's house, and she was like, you know, going on and on, ramping and raving. And so later on that night, I said, I'm going to go out. And my mom's like, well, the kids are going to stay here. And she's like, well, go ahead and go, whatever you're going to do. Me and my friend went. And I remember going down 29th Street, on West 29th Street, getting on 65 South, getting on that highway. And I saw a car. I'm going up the ramp. I saw a car coming behind me going about 60 to 80. And I start pumping it up. I'm like, wow, this car is flying. And I looked over to the side, and it was him, and he pulled up a gun and started shooting at me.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I mean, that's unbelievable. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was scary. I was in shock. Like, my friend is saying, pull over the car. We need to call the cops or whatever. And I'm in shock. All I can do is stand there, driving the car, just looking. I'm in straight shock. I don't know what to do. I've never been shot at. I don't, you know.
Right.
And so we eventually get the car pulled over and stop. The police come to escort me back to my mom's house. My mom's like, no more. You know, this is what's going to happen tonight. You guys are going to stay here. We got to figure it out. Like, this is insane. And so we stayed there, and I didn't sleep at all that night. And so the next morning, my mom told me that we were going to stay with her until we can figure out a better situation, that I didn't need to live over there because this is out of control. And I was like, yeah, I agree. So she said, let's go get clothes for the next 2 weeks until we'll have your cousins or somebody move your stuff. And so we went to my apartment, and I pulled up to my apartment, and my whole apartment was burned down.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Man, is this dude in jail?
He was.
Oh, my goodness.
He was, yeah.
I mean, and you hear stories about this, not to get off subject, but you hear stories like this every day. It's surprising that you're still here today.
Yes.
Right.
After what you went through. Because people are dying left and right today because there's just people who are mentally ill and are doing stuff like this.
Right.
You know, and you don't, as a young woman or young man, you don't know that you're with someone who's mentally unstable.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because you've been knowing them for a long time. You've seen
Right.
the good sides of them,
Right.
but these bad
Right.
sides come, and you
Right.
just kind of deal with it.
Yes.
Right.
So
Right.
it's hard to gauge, you know, what this person is when you're
Yep.
in it.
Yep.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? But you know, thank God that you survived
Yes.
that and got out of
Yes.
there. 'Cause
Yes.
that's,
Absolutely.
that's
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a testimony, man.
and so
I
that
mean, you
brings
still have contact now with him, or
So to this day, like, he does not bother me. He doesn't come around. Like him, when me and my husband first got together, there was a bit, you know, he tried to intimidate my husband. My husband wasn't going for it.
Right.
It was like, it's not going down.
big dog.
Yeah.
What happened?
No, you're not going to take, come in here and
What's
take
your
up my
husband's
family.
name?
Justin.
Shout out to Justin. Justin's not going.
absolutely. Shout out Justin.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, after that, like, he didn't come around and do anything else, but I've always let my kids have a relationship because my son always told me, he said, I know that my dad did some bad things, Mom, but I'm always going to love my dad, and I want to see
Absolutely.
my dad. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I let them go and see him, and I didn't feel like they were
Especially
going
if they
to
wanted to.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? Yeah.
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 And so throughout the years, I can honestly say they haven't, my son and his dad haven't had the best relationship.
Okay.
And I think because of some of the things that he remembers and some of the
Right.
things that he goes through, and it's
Right.
just like, you know, kind of that push and pull of like, why did you do this? Why didn't you
Right.
do this? And things like that. But
The important part is that he felt like that on his own, and it wasn't
Right.
nothing that you pushed. You know.
exactly.
You know.
And I didn't want to be that parent that says, oh, you're not going to go over there just because of what I went through. Even though my children went through it with me,
Right.
my son is standing here saying, I want to see my dad. I
Right.
didn't want to keep him from that.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I
Yeah.
wanted him to, I said, you know, I need him, if he's going to be a good person or a bad person,
Right.
I need for my son to learn that on his
Right.
own.
Right.
On
See
his
it himself.
own.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
That's
Right.
it.
So
That's it.
he was able to see that over time.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, because he's 21 now.
right.
Yeah.
So that led you to create this foundation,
Mm-hmm.
and can you tell us about it and what SUSU stands for, and
Mhm.
tell us about the passion and drive behind this organization?
Yeah, so Susu Stand Up Speak Up is, I created that name because I was standing up and speaking up to something that had me broken and bonded. And why I say broken and bonded, I was a very angry person. I was very confused, emotionally distraught. Like, yes, I was living life every day. I was a great mother. I was a great wife. But there was something that had me bound down.
Right.
So that's what Susu is about. Susu is about lifting women up, making women whole. You know, really making women know that you are enough, that you can move forward, that you can get over it. This is a healing process. This is not going to keep you. Don't let this past determine your future.
Right.
You know, that there's more to what you went through. You know
Right.
what I mean? So Susu helps women by I could have said I want a shelter, like the Julian Center or the Colburn Place. But instead they helped me and said, let's do something else.
Right.
Let's see what else we can do, like workshops. Let's do coaching. Let's do networking. Let's do fashion shows. Let's create vision boards. Let's do some other things than do speaking engagements. So
Right.
that's what we offer those to women, and we collaborate and partner with other organizations in the community to make an impact in
Right.
another woman's life.
That's amazing. Two things you said. You're partnering with other organizations.
Yes.
I see the remnants.
Yeah.
I see the remnants of Terry in here. But to see that's awesome.
Right,
Exactly. Group
right.
economics.
Yeah.
Figure out how to partner with other organizations that are already doing it. Don't be
Yeah.
out there by yourself trying to hold it down.
Right.
You got 3 years wait.
Yeah.
On the money.
Man.
Absolutely.
Humble and work
Absolutely.
together.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, this is an amazing story. I'm so glad that, whatever you went through, God had it for you and
Yeah,
to get
absolutely.
you to this
Yeah.
stage
Yeah.
because what you're doing for women is real.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
it
saying?
is. It is.
The passion behind it is real because, this isn't like some joke, like you just didn't wake up one day and say, I want to help women. You actually lived
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
adversity.
Yes,
Come on.
and that's
I mean,
part
now
of it.
you-
Like
you have
I
a-
can relate to what
Right.
another woman has gone through. We may
Right,
not have that
right.
same
Right.
topic that went on, but we got some same emotional things that's going on. We
Right,
got
right,
that verbal
right.
abuse, or maybe we had that same financial abuse. Like I understand that. Let's break it down and see how we can make
Yeah, it
you
is.
whole.
Absolutely.
So
So you're geared more toward women who are like emotionally and physically distraught and are really trying to get out there. Now you have
Yeah.
other women too, but your focus is like, hey, I've been there.
Yes,
Come on in.
absolutely.
There's a lot of women out there
yes,
like
it
that.
is.
A
It
lot
is.
of them are scared. What do you say to those women who are still dealing with those kind of situations and really can't find a way out? How do they get a hold of you, and what do they do to get out of this situation that they're in?
So I always tell women you have to have a safety plan. have a safety plan, because you can't just get up and walk out of that door.
Right.
They're not going to let you leave like that.
Right.
They'll kill you before they let you leave.
Right.
And so just have hope. Know that there is a way out. There are resources out here in Indianapolis or in Indiana, if you're listening, wherever you're listening. There are resources. I'm not the only resource. There's other resources. So I tell women to call 211 in Indiana. That is a very helpful resource, because they can help you with shelters. They can tell you what shelters that are full, which ones are empty, which ones are closest to you. They can help you with a crisis line. They can set you up with counselors. They can set you up with food assistance, food pantries. They can set you up with insurance.
Wow.
They can set you up with clothing. Like, this thing helps
Now, for
more
that.
than just women.
Right.
This is a huge resource.
Right.
It helps all of Indiana, homeless people and everything. So 211 from any phone in Indiana will help you.
Wow.
So I think that's the number. You know, get in touch with that. And but I want people to also know they can call me and we can talk about it. You know, they can.
Where they get a hold of you at?
Yes, so they would get a hold of me at D Fredericks. That's FREDERICKS at SUSUglobal.com. Or they can go to the Facebook page. Susu has a Facebook page, and they can message me in there. They can message me under Denisha Fredericks on Facebook. They can also go to my Twitter page. They can go to our website, SUSUglobal.com, and our Instagram page. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
This is incredible, man. And I think the most amazing thing about you all is that you guys have a faith.
Yes.
Oh,
in
yeah.
God.
Yes, you have to.
Yes.
You know, and I think people get that mixed up with, oh, you know, these ladies must go to church every Sunday, or, you know, everybody has their routine and what they consider faith in and all that stuff. As long as you have a personal relationship with God, as long as you have faith and purpose in what you do, you'll be fine.
Yes.
You know, so you got to start somewhere, and business is out here for everybody.
Yes.
Let's talk about the market of Indianapolis, because a lot of people live here. All I hear is, I'm moving to Atlanta, or I'm moving to LA, or I'm moving to New York. This is a money hub.
Man.
Indianapolis is a money
Yes,
hub.
it is.
Right.
Yes, it
You know,
is.
Right.
you know, and if you're not making money, you might need to change your skill set a little bit, but
Right.
the money is here.
Let me, I just want to
Go ahead.
interject, because I grew up here, you know, went to Northwest High School, IPS graduate.
For
So,
sure.
shout out. Shout out to the Northwest folks,
Oh
Northwest
my
alumni. But I think, here's the thing that I learned. Indianapolis is the easiest place to start a business. It's the cheapest, easiest place to make money. It is very economically empowering. Indiana wants you to make money. It's very capitalist. Yeah. The thing that we have learned in Indiana, when we started, we went to a conference in Texas. And I'm just going to be honest, I was very jaded. I was like, man, I'm done. Like, I'm going down south. I'm so sick of Indianapolis.
Right.
And I think it's because sometimes it's the environment, and there are a lot of pressures and hindrances, especially if you're a woman of color, and you're a woman, period.
Right.
But when we went to Texas, there was a gentleman there that really was like, hey, you know, let Indiana be your hub, because it provides you the environment to thrive, and it fosters business.
Right.
But you need to look at yourself as a global entity. And once you look at yourself as a global entity, Indianapolis attitude, or whatever we call it, won't bother you.
Right.
And we came
Go
back,
global.
absolutely, and we came back with an intentional, I think why we've grown is God and its purpose, but I think we came back with an intentional plan that we're going to collaborate with as many businesses as we can. We're not going to give into because people say, I'm just going to keep it real, that we kind of have a crabs in the barrel slave mentality in Indiana. And we came back and said, we're not even going to address that. We're just going to collaborate with people.
You created your own lane.
You'll bring that
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Just not even acknowledge it.
If you do this, we need to let
Yeah.
people know you do this.
That's it.
Right.
How do you partner with us? We brought other people into our contracts.
That's
Hey, this is a
huge.
contract that we
Right.
do event planning. We don't do event planning, but we can foster the environment for the contract. You come on in and hey, get your money. And I think when you have that mentality, let everybody get money. There's enough money out here. Let me find somebody that doesn't do what I do that can support what we do.
That's it.
And once we did that, it opened up a whole door, because people always look at us crazy, because we said we don't gauge ourselves by our competition. We see our competition and we research it, but we gauge ourselves by challenges.
Right.
Yes.
So we don't look and say, "Oh, we about to be the best. We about to be look at them. We're about to beat them." We never did that. We said, "What have they accomplished that we have not?
Right.
And how do we meet those challenges? And then how can we be a partner to those people that might look like we're in the same market?"
Right.
We get compared to a major consulting firm all the time. And people always come, I know y'all trying to beat out this person. No, we honor them and where they are. They're awesome, and we can never be them because that's not our skill set. We are over here killing it in this space.
That's it.
And there's people that can
your own standard.
Absolutely.
That's it. That's it.
We can never be Susu Global.
No.
And Susu Global will never be the Marriott Group. And that's okay. And I think sometimes people take that, I can do that. I can do what she does. No, I have no way. I have no right to impinge on what she went through. So I can't go and try to tear her down with what I think I can do intellectually. She does a great job. How can we boost her out there? She knows we do a great job. How do we boost each other? And you see the relationship happen.
All about.
So we've created what we call a nation of, we have a little Marriott Group nation.
Yes,
So,
they do.
a little family. Like, it's hard for a lot of companies to say we brought a bunch of our clients to the skyline and nobody's in there fussing. Everybody's saying we love them.
Talking about you behind your back.
Right.
Yeah.
They're talking to each other and they're doing deals with each other. And that's what we came back with. And I think Indianapolis, if we ever get, I'm talking specifically to the minority community and female community, if we could ever realize how powerful we really are, and if we could say we're going to collaborate and we're going to go against the grain and see how much money we can build together, you would see a total difference in this city. Because I'm in policy, and policy works off of numbers. And they know that we can get our votes because of our numbers, but we don't know our economic power. And we need to understand the more that we have group economics and group policy making, because group economics directly affects group voting.
Absolutely.
So don't just, I'm going to go and rush the vote. Nobody cares. You need money in politics. So if you can have your group economics together, and we can push policy, we'll see these neighborhoods change. But complaining and saying Indianapolis is the same, because guess what? When you go to Atlanta, you're going to fight the same thing, and now you're an outsider. And so now you have to come in the market. Nobody can vouch for you. People can vouch for you here in Indianapolis. So I think we just need to flip it and say, if we all just work together and collaborate together, how can I make sure she makes the most money she's ever made? How can she make sure we do the same thing? Where's the problem? That's what we operate.
Man, for anyone listening, please take heed to everything that she just said.
Amen.
Because look, I'm getting sick of people saying, "Oh, I'm about to leave this city. This city is not for me."
You know, don't leave unless you got a strategic plan or you know somebody that's gonna really, get you in the door. Because I'm telling you, like I said, it's like starting over.
It is.
I remember going to doing music, and I went to LA, and I just felt like, man, I'm starting from the bottom. I mean, I had a following in Indianapolis, and I'm like, whoa, I'm in this big city now. I got to get to know everybody. And granted, you have more connections and things, but it's important to have those connections and leverage them. Otherwise, you're just living in another city.
Amen.
And social media has made it very, very like more easier for people to stay where they are and still reach a base.
Absolutely. You can be global in your living room.
Go
global in your living room.
You know, it is perplexing, borderline preposterous. Yes, I said it. Preposterous. And perplexing first, preposterous second, for people in this day and age to compare.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just, it makes no sense. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous because, like Terry said, you can be in your underwear. I'm just keeping it real, in a house coat, in the living room, making $400,000 a year on the east side. You know, it's like, so what are we comparing? People are so focused on my local. And when your mind is open, that's what I love about Susu. Just real quick. With Susu, what attracted me when you first came into Susu is not just the physical abuse. A lot of organizations focus on the physical part. How can I help you get clothing and shelter and all, etc. You went higher. You know, and that Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you went to number 8, transcendence. How can I make your mind free? You know what I'm saying? If I can make your mind free, you can be in a house where you feel, like Paul said, I'm in chains, but yet I'm free. So it's like, even though I'm here in the house, my mind is in my own apartment, with my job, my kids in private school. You know what I'm saying? So my mind is somewhere else. And I feel like once people in business get their mind out of local, I came from Arizona, I know soul here. I came straight from Arizona, didn't know one person I knew, and that was my ex. That's it. That's all I knew. He was all I knew. You know, and the word tells us your gifts will make room for themselves. You don't got to go out and boast yourself.
Yeah.
If you got a gift, your gift will make room for itself.
Right.
My gift led me to Terry. Terry's gift led her to me.
Right.
That was ordained of God. I didn't know she existed. She knew I existed. I was in Tucson, Arizona.
Right.
What good comes out of Nazareth? You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Like, I'm in Tucson, Arizona, for real. You know, and I come to Indianapolis, and it's like, oh my goodness. You know, and then now we're just in this place that somebody sit back and look like, God, only you can do something like that. So it's just when you're building your business, you have to remember this is also a spiritual thing too.
Yes.
It's not just a natural thing.
Yeah.
There is a reason why God put that thing in you.
Exactly.
There's a reason why you went through what you went through. And I used to get
Exactly.
so irritated people say that. Well, girl, that's why you went through what you went through. I'm like, shut up. You didn't go through, you know what I'm saying? You didn't go through what I went through, you know.
Right.
But once on the other side,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you get it. You know what I'm saying? You get it. You understand on the side. So, you know, I know we're coming to a close or whatnot, but when it comes to business, you know, you gotta don't think local. If you can walk with all the golden nuggets tonight, another golden nugget would be just don't think local. You're so much bigger than that.
Yes. Yes.
You are so much bigger. And this, God has given us a platform now where you can be doing deals in Madagascar and Tanzania and Belize. You know what I mean? I'm looking up and I'm walking this morning and I was just looking up and I saw an airplane go by and I don't know where it came from because I live in this century, but I thought in my head I was like, look at what and we never thought that men could do that.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Looking up at an airplane, you're like, look at that.
Yeah.
You know, it reminds me of that movie Gladiator when they finally got to the Coliseum, right? They were looking at it and the African man, I forgot his name, the cute one, African, you know what I'm talking
We
about.
don't know.
We
You
don't
know
know.
what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
God,
Men don't speak that language.
men don't call other
The bald
guys cute.
head,
Like they
dark
were gonna be like, oh yeah,
skin.
the cute.
Oh, man.
Right.
Men don't
Right.
call other guys cute.
All right.
We have no
The-
idea.
you know what I'm y'all know what I'm talking about.
Handsome is a stretch.
There it is.
We don't say cute, we say handsome. And
love
even
it.
that's a stretch for a
I
lot
love
of people. Go ahead.
So anyway, the brother, you know, the African brother, him, he said when they looked at the Coliseum, he said, I did not know that men could build such things, right? So it's like we live in a day and age where there is really there's no limit.
Right.
There's literally no limit. You know, we're on the break of launching our software where this thing's about to go global. Forget
I can't
national.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is a global scale.
Yeah.
And it's like, why stop?
Right.
Right.
Who told you to stop? God didn't tell you to stop. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, it's like, I mean, he said, I came that you might have life and have that life more abundantly.
Right.
Where does that say stop?
Right.
It says use wisdom, but
Right.
keep going, you know?
Right.
And I think a lot of us just get stuck on, I'm in Indiana, I'm here, this is what I do, and I've got to go around my immediate audience, and we're seeing the same people teach
People
the
are
same
Same
classes.
thing.
People are
Same thing.
victims of their own mental and physical
Yes.
actions.
Break out.
And
Prison,
Yeah, break
yeah.
out.
I had
Prison.
to stop taking phone calls from a friend of mine. I won't call him out, but I
Oh
mean,
my goodness.
this was a conversation. Ray, they hating on me. They all hating on me. They don't want me to shine. They don't want me to grow. They don't want me to have business. They don't want it. I said, who?
Who's the they? I mean, it sounds like
I
it's
said,
more
I said,
him
I
than
said, who?
Right.
I mean, like, who wakes up in the morning and just like, man, let me see how many ways I can crush this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, let me see how many ways I can make his day bad today.
Right.
I don't think anybody it cares that much.
Right.
And I think a lot of people create their own haters.
Yeah.
That's what's
You
up.
can't
That's what's
have
up.
haters if you're not doing well. You can't have haters in the first place.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So what are these haters?
That's what's up.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm
Not
saying?
hating you for going to your 9 to 5 every day and not being fabulous. I mean, you can be fabulous at your 9 to 5.
So you know, I think the problem is that we need to outgrow these physical and mental actions that are repetitive to ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, we create our own circumstances.
And
You
just be
know,
okay with it.
Right.
A thing that I always say is success is not your goal, it's your portion.
I know that's
And
it.
I think if some people are trying to work towards success.
Yes.
I am a success because I was born. And success is my inheritance of what I have right now.
That's
it's not
right.
a goal.
Come on now,
So when
Terry.
I'm not trying to push to success, I am success because I
That's
woke
it.
up. I am success
I
because
woke
I was
up.
born. There's children that are aborted.
Just
There's
woke
children
up.
that die.
Yes.
I'm a success right now. And so I think sometimes people are looking for that thing, that $1 million thing. Oh, this is the hit. And
Right.
it doesn't work like that. I'm already a success and I have to make my own kingdom. And so we built the Merit Group off of Deuteronomy 8:18, which it says God gives everyone.
Come on.
He didn't just say save folks.
Right.
That's
He
it.
said he gives everybody the ability to gain wealth.
Right.
Gain wealth means gain knowledge.
Yes.
Most people want riches.
Right.
Yes.
God really focuses on riches after you get wisdom and wealth.
Yes.
And that's
Absolutely.
where a lot of
Solomon.
people are missing it is I want money, I want riches, but they don't want the wealth of knowledge. We have to be around people that are not like us.
Right.
That don't think like us, don't come
Amen.
from where we come from,
Amen.
and are hard on us.
Right.
Right.
And say,
Right.
this is the knowledge that made me a multimillionaire. And I can say, I don't feel that.
Right.
Well,
Right.
then, okay, then
Well,
I don't
then
want to be a
stay
multimillionaire.
Right.
I just
Right.
want to be a multi-thousandaire. and that's what you want to do.
Look, let me show you for the people who need the layman term version. Let me show them how to. Let me show you.
1,000 there.
This is God. Okay. This paper right here.
Yeah.
This is you. Okay. God is saying, jump on the paper. This is you.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't need that.
Yeah, or
I don't need it.
they
Right.
saying like,
Yeah.
You want to go under the paper.
Right.
or they get on the.
That's
corner
all you
of
got to
it.
do.
Just
Right.
jump on it. Yep.
Right.
Or they get on
Abundance
the
is there.
corner of
Yeah.
it.
It's
That's
all
it.
there for everybody.
That's it.
So you just have to
Amen.
turn a switch on and say, you know what? I'm going to be different today. I'm going to do what I do today.
Yes.
Right.
I'm not going to worry about these people. I'm
Right.
not going to worry about those people. I'm going to stay focused on me. And you know what? You're going to draw people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the more you grow in your
Yes.
own thing,
Yes.
stop worrying about people.
Yes.
They going to come find you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
They gonna come find you. They gonna want
Yes.
to know what you're doing.
That's
you know,
it.
and that's when you know.
Yeah.
You know you're doing something when they search
it.
you out.
Yeah.
That's it.
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's
And,
it.
and I'm going to quote Jody from Baby Boy. I am the master of my abilities.
Yeah.
I think you sound like him a little
You
bit.
did. You was little Tyrese on us.
That's his new name, Jody.
Oh,
Got
Jody.
it.
Got it.
Yeah, Jody.
I love it. I love it.
Oh,
And
there.
listen, Jody has a better ring to it than Rayford.
Oh,
Oh,
Rayford.
wow.
Yeah. Oh my
All right,
God.
your new name is Patford.
No, not
Hey!
There you
Oh,
go.
Rayford
Patford.
Patford.
Sanford and Son.
Rayford Patford.
Or Aloysius.
Oh,
Aloysius.
no.
Oh my
See,
God.
get out.
I know
Get
that.
out. Aloysius. Get out.
You know what though? I
Oh,
used
my
to tell
God.
people that my middle name was
Aloysius,
Yeah.
see?
Yeah.
Aloysius Jenkins.
Jenkins with 2 A's, no E's.
Y'all crazy.
Jenkins.
Y'all crazy.
That's real.
I just want y'all to know y'all crazy.
Yes.
Jenkins.
Yes.
I just want y'all to know y'all
Well, look,
crazy.
y'all, this has been great. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We always
it's
have
been
fun
great.
when y'all come in here. You know, I love talking about business
Yes.
because you can never know enough.
Amen.
Absolutely.
And if
Amen.
you want to thrive, you got to get yourself surrounded with people who know what they're talking about.
Absolutely.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You can never know everything and challenge yourself to continuously build around people who are positive and progressive.
Yes.
If you're around people who keep saying they got haters and ain't nobody in the rear view, you know, so you gotta move.
Right.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying? You gotta get from around them. You know, what we like to do right now is do closing remarks. And basically our closing remarks consist of us just letting the viewers know, you know, what they can do to reach you guys and, you know, just to give them a little boost of faith into entering into the business world.
Yep. And
So
anything
we'll start
positive that you want
with
to
you,
say.
Alicia.
Yes, so my closing remarks is to let women know that you are enough, you are awesome, you're amazing, you're phenomenal, and that you do not have to take any type of abuse from anyone, and that you can get out. There is a way out. Do not give up hope. And so you can reach me at www.susu, which is susuglobal.com, or you can email me at dfredericks@susuglobal.com. And I also want to let women know that we are having a networking event that starts on May 1st at Glendale Public Library. It is free. It is from 6 to 7:30. It is for all women. If you have a business, you can come. If you don't have a business, still come. Because we want to connect women with resources.
Right.
So that is the
Nice.
ultimate goal. Is getting everyone in the room connected. So, yes.
That's huge.
Yes.
Pound.
That's what I'm
That's
talking
huge.
about.
All right, Shamara.
Okay, so Ray, say it with me. Ready?
Okay.
Shamara. I
Shamara.
knew she was going to get you. I knew she was
I
going to
went
get
the
you.
whole show.
Hey,
I mean, her eyes were like,
hey, that's better than Rayford.
Shamira.
That's better than Rayford.
That is okay. It's better than Rayford.
Shamara.
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 Mara.
Gotcha. Shamara Cox.
Yes. So, you know, in closing, I think for us, our main thing would be is just do what you believe God has called you to do. You know, if you believe God's put it in you to create a business, think beyond the discomfort you might feel right now of investing in it, mentally, physically, financially, emotionally, spiritually. you know, if you can get past that, you'll see on the other side that it was well worth it.
Right.
You know, and just you have to believe it. I heard a pastor once say it's not enough to believe in God. You have to believe in the God in you.
Right.
You know, you have to believe that God uses you, that you're actually His instrument.
Right.
And a lot of times people, because I believe God's going to do it all day long, but do you believe God actually will use you to do it?
Right.
You know, so Davisha had to believe God will use her to do this. And He did.
Yes, He
And
did.
He
Amen.
is. It's
Every
dead.
day.
You
Every
know,
day.
it's dead. So if you want to get in touch with us, you can email us at
The Merit Group.
Thank you,
Indy.com.
okay.
Long day.
So info at themeritgroupindy.com or visit our website www.themeritgroupindy.com.
There it is.
And I just want to, you know, it's levels to this thing.
Here
So,
he
heard
does.
I heard that.
Here he does in the building.
I know that's it.
Yeah,
I
she
know
came out and
that's
said,
it.
look,
Can you
it's
spit?
levels to
Can you
this thing.
spit 4 bars before you
Yeah,
You
go
know,
ahead.
get started?
you got to book me for the bar.
But there you got bars, y'all.
I do want to say the thing that I keep and the thing that I'm learning this year is that expectation is key to all blessing. So whatever you expect is what you get. So if you expect to be wildly successful, you will. If you expect not to, you're correct.
Come
So
on.
just expect. If you expect to have a business that is wildly successful, you also have to expect what comes with it. So just don't expect the good without the bad, because actually the bad is what is the blessing. Because the bad teaches you how to manage the good. So just expect. Expectation is the key to blessing. So like Shamar said, you can reach us at the Merit Group Indy. You can check us out, and we thank everybody and walk in your purpose.
Yes.
Man.
Yes.
Powerful.
Hey, let me tell y'all something. Y'all coming back in here next month.
I know that's right. I know that's it.
Next month.
Yeah.
Once a month. Deliver
That's
business.
Be
I
real.
got it.
How do I follow that?
That's it.
Man.
I know that's right.
It's levels to this, huh?
Yes.
Look,
Levels to
look,
this
she
thing.
spit bars and
I
she
know.
you know she spit
Yeah.
bars.
Right.
I know, look.
Level to
She
this
said,
thing, baby.
you gotta book me for the bar.
I got the jars.
Oh my God, Terry.
Oh,
I
man.
love it. I love it.
Hilarious. I want to thank y'all, man, again for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
This is awesome.
Anytime.
Awesome.
Like you
Awesome.
said, you know, we should do this like once a month.
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
so okay,
Let's
bet.
do it.
Let's put us on the book every month.
And real quick,
Yeah.
I just wanna give honor to you guys. I know
Amen.
everybody, you guys are killing it. I mean,
Yes.
and
Amen.
you're making waves. And what I love about you guys is that you're so multidimensional and so diverse. It's not just about one thing.
Yes.
So you're killing the game, and we're just so excited to see how God is going to progress this thing.
Thank you.
Wow, man.
Yeah,
That's
Appreciate
amazing.
that. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Love that.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Motivation.
Yes.
Motivation.
Yes.
All day.
That's motivation.
I'm telling you, they're gonna give you a lot of motivation. They do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it keeps going. I'm telling you, I used to be like, oh girl, I was ready last night to come see y'all this morning today.
She sure did.
I'm ready. I'm like, y'all ready?
Mhm.
Y'all
I'm like,
ready?
I'm ready. I was ready last night, honey. I was
Like,
ready for
let's
this
go.
appointment.
What y'all got for me?
That's what it motivates you to do when you see
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
can see your future in
Yes.
business.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now you
Yes.
ready to go.
Yeah.
That's what you
Yeah.
gotta do with the
Ready to
marriage.
go.
Yes.
That was
Ready
deep
to go.
all day.
Ready to go.
All
day.
day.
Be
On her
real.
laptop.
Yes.
I want to thank our viewers.
Good
Wow.
show.
Yeah, it's
A lot of
absolutely.
comments.
Yes, it was.
Awesome.
You know, there's a lot of great information. So, you know, I know the viewers really appreciate y'all for coming in too.
Yeah.
I would just like to say, and you know, I'll keep it brief, is that we are all connected, man. Period. You know, just respect each other. You know, respect each other's dreams. If you're fearful, man, of starting your business, man, just get around positive people that help
Amen.
Absolutely.
bring that courage out and kill that fear.
Yes.
Married group.
Married group.
Wow.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Sorry to cut you out, but you know, that was a good insert.
No, it's all good.
Patford.
Patford.
So I just want to say thanks to you guys. Obviously, you guys bring such a great dimension to this show, and
Absolutely.
you guys give so many nuggets to the people that are viewing. A lot of people don't know where to find this information at. You know, we created this platform, and you guys were welcome enough to come in and,
Yes.
and drop
Yes.
knowledge. And we appreciate that.
All
Yes.
right.
Yes.
You know,
All right.
people got to pay for stuff like this.
Yeah,
Amen.
absolutely.
So I hope
Bless
y'all
God.
taking notes.
Bless God.
We out here working for y'all.
Listen, y'all be paying me.
Right. We paying for this, whether we know it or not.
Yeah.
We just have me some Oreo cookies lined up, and I'm straight.
Oh,
But,
God.
but Oreo cookies.
Double stuff. Double
Oh,
stuff.
Lord Jesus.
I cannot.
No,
I cannot.
y'all are not clapping on some double
No.
stuff.
Well, y'all like double stuff Oreo?
No.
No, we're saying, me and Shamar said, no, that's you and Terry.
Hey,
I don't.
Y'all take the cookies.
and then check this
I'm
out
cool.
though. But check this out, man, really quick. They're vegan.
Oreos are vegan.
Y'all didn't know that,
vegan
did
food.
y'all?
Yeah, Oreos are vegan food.
They're
What?
vegan. Yes.
Guess what? Y'all can eat them
Y'all
now.
know that, didn't
Yeah.
you? See? Because I don't eat meat anyway. So by them being vegan, that's right up my alley. Shamara.
Oh, he dropped bars on you. He dropped bars on you, Shamar.
Don't mind her. She eats food.
She gonna be him.
I sure do. I love me. I will share some seaweed chips
You
with
know,
you.
Oh,
hey,
my
and
God,
I was
not them
trying because I heard
seaweed chips.
seaweed, man, is healthy.
Thank you.
I
Terry
haven't had
Dove.
it
Terry Dove Pittman.
Terry, you need to try those chips.
Wait a minute. How about my peaches? My peach.
I haven't tried them, but
Did
you
you
told her
I'm
to
with
try
you
them
on
on
that.
Facebook.
Because the word C is out for me.
Listen,
What been on
C,
that
it's
seaweed?
called C. I ain't anything with C on it. I'm not messing with it.
Right.
listen up. I'm going to pat myself on the back, man, really quick because I have not had meat, bro, this whole year since we went out.
Wow. God bless
Wow.
you.
That's
And
good.
I appreciate you because I have. I love bacon and
Swine.
turkey.
Right.
Stop eating that abomination.
Hey, I blessed it.
Oh, Jesus.
Put some oil on it.
But I
And
lost
I'ma
like
have my-
35 pounds since.
Oh,
no.
wow. Good for you.
Wow.
Awesome.
All belly. Gone.
All belly.
Oh,
huh?
and I cut out bread and ice cream. Joy. Edward. I'm doing
I-
it.
Joy, please hear her
That's my
joy.
trainer. That's my
Please hear her
trainer.
joy.
That's my trainer. She
We
is
gonna
my
get some personal trainers in here.
Oh yeah, Joy be wonderful.
Oh,
She's
Joy.
full of the Holy Ghost too.
What's her name?
Joy,
Joy.
Edwards.
Edwards.
So it's called Jesus
Shout
the
out to
Gym
Joy
and Dale.
Edwards.
Okay. Joy.
She's
Edwards,
what's
holla at
up.
us. We
Yeah.
gotta get you in
Yes,
here.
she's
Yes,
bad.
yes.
She's bad.
She
Talk about some personal
motivates. She's just full of energy and just
Yeah.
real, just real.
Tell her, wait, first of all, disclaimer, don't be coming in here trying to get us to do push-ups.
Get out, give us
and all
Right,
that,
right, right.
okay?
She makes you feel bad. Did
But,
you not do your stuff?
And the way she say it to you, like,
Yeah, she'll be like, "Well, Terry, it's your goal.
Make
I'm
you
not
feel
gonna
bad,
lose
don't
the
she?
weight.
right.
It's your goal. You just didn't make your goal this week."
Oh, AKA loser. That's what she's really saying. Slacker.
Right.
She's like, "I don't need to lose weight. You do." I know.
That's
All
all
right.
But, yeah, I just want to, thank y'all, man. Thank the viewers.
Absolutely, sir.
Yes.
Because
Thank
is
you,
what
guys.
the
Thank you.
Beautiful.
This is what the gray area is for, and we have to continue building with one another, collaborating, partnering. Don't ever look at anybody as competition. Look at how you can grow, build, and work
Yes.
with them.
Yes.
So that's the best thing you can do. You feel like you got a hater, go talk to him.
I know that's it.
Pray for him, man.
It
Pray for him.
might be the
Keep
best
your
thing that
enemies
ever happened to
close.
you.
Come
That's
on.
right.
Come on.
And don't be afraid, like Pat was saying, to dive into business. We have the resources as well. We can shoot you to people like the Merit Group and other entrepreneurs that have been on the show that will gladly help you, in that avenue. So don't feel like you're alone. You always got help. Continue sharing our feeds, tuning in, and we'll see y'all next time.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate y'all's support. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Oh.
That's
Can I
powerful.
email you guys this flyer you put on your page?
Yes.
This flyer, can I email that
Yes.
to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw that.
And we got 82
Oh, yes.
comments.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a lot of comments. It was good.
I
Really
was
good stuff.
tuning in. I seen my mom get on. I said, oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, man.
said, "Mama got
Mom's
on
on there.
there."
Look.
What's on there?
Look.
You guys want something to give the people here?
Tracy Zoe, that's mine.
What'd you say?
Do
You know what's
want
crazy?
something to
His
give
mother
Yes,
and my
please.
mother's
Okay,
birthday
yes,
on
yes.
the same day.
Just give us as many as you. I mean, if you
Yeah.
can, maybe
Yeah.
5%. I want to take all of it.
95.
Okay.
Yeah, you just
What's
anything
95?
that you
What's
can
this
give us.
95?
1995 was when I first met him.
Have some people-
Let me tell you something though. Story of how I met this dude. I walk in the classroom, right?
Yeah. Welcome to classroom. What happened?
We were freshmen, so
I'm hungry.
walked in there. So how the classroom was like set up,
What are you going to do?
they had